we go. Hi folks. I thought I'd give YouTube another quick bash just while we're in lockdown in the UK. Because I stopped because basically no one was watching and I couldn't be bothered, just keep going with it. But you know, it's no time like the present. Basically the reason I thought I'd give another bash is my mate who buys and sells a lot of guitars. He started up a channel actually, Jim R Guitar. He's got way more subscribers than me in such a short time because he's actively promoting and all that stuff. But anyway, that's besides. But yeah, that was the inspiration to give it another bash. But basically, I'm still getting some work in during the lockdown. This being the main point of concern. It's an old, don't know, like that Commodore, Japanese thing. It's come under different brands, Tesco, even Epiphone and things like that. So it's interesting little guitar, and I still I've had this in before for just for getting side dots in. Actually, put in another 3 because the guy had stickers up to the 15th. I thought, right, that's what I'll dot up to, and then when he needed it looked at again, he says, could you just do those 3 while you're at it? Because turns out he needs them. So I fired them in, so it's not, good thing is I don't need to charge for these 3 because it's just 3 wee side dots. Yeah, so I'm just fretting this thing. I'll video putting 1 fret in and then stop it because it's a very long process. So basically all I've done is I've marked and clipped the tang, if that'll focus. Marked and clipped the tang and then just filing the excess off the bars and things like that. So I'll be good to go in a wee second. Fourth prize today, I ended up having to do a 4-mile trip walking just to get the super glue I like from Poundland. And yes, I glue my frets in because it makes life just that little bit easier. I say easier, like you don't have sprung frets or anything like that. Let's get the excess off the top. And yeah, all the clean up and that I usually leave to the end. We'll position that. And one thing from my old videos is I do have a few more tools and tricks up my sleeve. This thing is a lifesaver. Means you're not noisily hammering in frets, so you can work to all hours of the night with this thing if you want to. If you can, that is. Just clamp it in like that. And say, sorry about the focus, it's a new phone as well, so it's actually, no, I don't have access to the settings while it's recording, so I can't adjust the autofocus in there. But yeah, fret clamped up, leave it as long as that and it's good to go really. I mean, it's clamped up to let the glue dry, and the glue is usually still wet at this point, but there's good grip in the fret. I did bevel these last night because I ran out of glue last night, so I couldn't continue. But I filed these so I could actually handle the neck without cutting myself, and so I'll just need to do these and get on with the leveling, and I'll come back for that. Nothing to this. File and an angle block. Probably seen this a million times in different places. Just taking these from, where are we? Yeah, these ones are straight, these ones are angled, just matching these up. paint flecks coming off this piece of scrap wood. It's getting onto a new board, but that's fine. Just wipe off. There you have it. That's this side done. Let's go to this side. I just realised I was undercutting the tanks. I didn't explain why. Just for when this shrinks in the winter, the tanks don't come out the bottom, need to be refilled again. It just has to be like the very bottom of the crown if it needs it. So yeah, just want to come back and set it up for leveling. Yeah, I just thought I'd quickly show this. All this chip black here. Just put some glow into it. This way the damage doesn't spread as much. And it's okay if it gets into refret slots, I'll just help consolidate the ends. I can just scrape this back, take care of it when it's dry. Just do that all the way up, pretty much. Right, just going to go over a little bit of this because this stuff's dry, but there's some stuff on the other side which isn't dry yet. So basically just bring that down flush any which way you can. I like this little file. I'll just make sure I'm not supporting on that wet spot. And then really it's just taking a little bit off. I don't know if you can see that bit's flattened down significantly. Oh. Get some tape on this in a wee second. Yeah, I think at that point. Oops. Drop the tape. Because all this will just get polished up there just to save me having to polish this bit up too. More than anything else. Yeah. Because I'm moving hand position that much, I need to make sure I'm not getting that wet side. I was put that in a bit harshly there, so just make sure not to get it on that fretboard edge, so I'm putting it down on this bit. This one really isn't bad at all, it's just these two. I really want to chip out on me. See, now I've encountered a problem. Taking off the top layer and that underneath is just still just a little bit wet. That bit's dry. That bit's dry, but just this bit, so you know, maybe leave this for a bit longer. But you get the idea. Just take it down and then go through your grits to polish it up, and it's going to be the same on the other side once this is all completely dry. Right, so I'd hope this section is self-explanatory. Pen. Actually, I'll start down here because I'm left-handed. Use any kind of marker you want. I like a blue permanent marker because I find it shows up easier and it doesn't come off on your hands as much. So yeah. Right, again, self-explanatory. Leveling beam, neck set flat. Just look for where the pen's coming off. Make sure the neck is supported. I've put the neck back on the body just because it's a good solid support. See, I can shape my whole bench just by moving the body slightly, so that's the kind of support I like on the neck. You just go slow with this because at the end of the day you don't want to be making mistakes. Some people really disagree about going back and forth, but at this speed it's not a problem because you can just watch and make sure you're going the same, follow the same line forward as you did back, or at least as close to it as possible. I don't know if you can see, but there's just a couple wee bits that are still low, so I'm going to finish levelling this, come back when ready to crown. And just a quick tip, I like to take a piece of leather on the rough side and just wipe all the dust off. You can see I've used it quite a lot on the heavy grit side, which for leveling the fingerboard and still some rosewood left, but you know, I think this might need to get a new piece of leather soon. Yeah, so that's quite levelled now, and going on to crowning. Sorry about that, nearly dropped my phone there. Anyway, I like a 3-corner file for doing this. And just bringing that blue line in gently. Along the centre. Notice I'm just switching sides just where I'm seeing the crown come in. It's wee bits I can take at a time. It's not the end of the world if the line disappears, like you see, well, it's disappeared here almost completely and it's just about to go there. That's fine. I like to take the line off only just along the full length anyway, but ideally you want to leave however thick that is, that's ideal, but most people actually leave about that, and either is fine. As long as it's in the centre to keep the guitar intonated. Because that's why your intonation drifts with heavy fretwear. It flattens and it moves that spot further forward depending how flat the fret gets, and that's why a level recrown is necessary. And then when it gets too bad like this one, full refret. Come on. There you have it. One fret crowned, one down, 20 more to go. And just very quickly, I'll show you the glue repair to the lacquer, how it's all shined up and everything and looking pretty uniform. And it's the same with the side dots down the neck. So yeah, I'll just come back in a wee bit after I've done all these. Just another quick thing for taking care of sharp frettings. Got this file. This edge is completely smooth. And just round over. I'm doing this before polishing because then I can polish up the actual U-bit, and I might do it after polishing again depending how I'm feeling. If polishing the frettings while I'm doing that actually resharpens any of these corners. I just quite like that. Again, because this has no teeth on it, it's not biting into the wood. And it's really quick, so if you have sharp frettings, just get yourself a cheap little needle file. Spend the day taking the edge off it, and then work down your sharp frettings. That's if the crown is sharp. If the tang is sharp and like a fender neck or something similar with no binding on it, you can still use the flat side and get in very carefully, but you need to be very careful not to get the finish in the wood. Just really straightforward like that, and then go up the neck on both sides. I've already done this side, and so I'm now halfway along here. Yeah, and that's it, and then polish up. I'll come back for that. Now on the final grip before steel wool, this is 1200, so I go 4, 6, 12 steel wool, and that usually does the trick. First you go up the length, and remember to get the frettings. Just wrapped around the finger, nothing fancy. Like I say, get the ends, because you can forget you can end up getting through this, forgetting to do the ends, and then it's not as shiny. See, I'm happy with that, and then just go across. Honestly, sorry, this bench shakes like a leaf, especially when I'm doing a job like this. I know what you're thinking, the rosewood's a mess. I tape up maple and lacquered boards, but for something like rosewood and ebony, you can just scrape it clean when you're finished. Because at this point your focus is just the frets. Go. I keep some steel wool on a magnet just so it's in one place. Oh. So if you look at the first fret, it doesn't really show up on camera, does it? Sorry, right, I'm looking at the camera while I'm doing this, so that's why it's going to be a bit iffy. Yeah, it's 4, 6, 12, quadruple 0, steel wool. I don't go along the ends with this just because it is a bit too time consuming. Well, it's not so much time consuming, it's more awkward the way, as well, with the way that steel wool breaks apart. Again, because it breaks apart, that's why I keep it on a magnet. Also helps as well with set neck guitars where you don't have to watch you're taking the neck off. It stops it from breaking away and getting onto the pickups. Let's quickly do this and then clean up that first fret, just so you know, just to show you the process. Because once I've, right, there's 20th fret, one more fret to go, because once I've done this I'm just going to go straight on to the scraping. I'm not even going to, anyway, so that's why you got the whole, spent all that time with the camera there. Okay. Get a decent angle. Excuse the mess in the background. Is that focused? Yeah. Just lightly scraping that layer of dirt, and actually can actually feel I need a new blade. So yeah, you can see the difference, especially if I just do the second one. Yeah, you can see the difference there, all that dirt is away there, and this also gets away the glue from actually pressing the frets in, if any squeezed out or that. But yeah, this blade's done, so I need a fresh one. Right, I've oiled the board and glued the nut back on. All I'm going to do now is clean up the slots, because as you see in the line, aside from little kind of indents at some slots, it's actually sitting at the right height. Yeah, so it's taking a 10 file, clean up these slots. If it works, here we go. I like to use my 10 on the E, B and G strings, just because it gives it a I feel it's better, because between the very edge being the 10 and then just slightly up, it seems like it winds at a really quick rate. So can I actually bring the G down a little bit. Is that too far? Oh, it might just be too far. No, actually, seems alright. I'm lucky this side is, the other side is the D strings, which works out great. And I can come down a little bit as well. See, it's amazing that you can put new frets in and find the nut still has plenty of play in it. Because these frets are about 0.3 of them, well 0.3 to 0.4 depending on the exact wear spot, taller than the old frets. There we go. Sorry for the focus. I'm just pausing the video, so I still haven't been able to check the settings if there is an autofocus. Okay. Put this little guard on here. I like using my fret file for this, I really shouldn't. It's just to shape the nut, bring it down. In an ideal world, you want the slots to be half the diameter of the string. But the top string should be left a little higher because some people like to do second fret bends and they'll pop out if the slots are too shallow. And that's the trouble with plastic nuts, is as you're filing them, the filings get moved over and compacted into the slot, so you are working a wee bit blind some of the time. If you're wondering why sometimes you'll be paying a lot for a setup, because they should be doing nut work. Although my setups aren't expensive, I still do this. I know this job's a refret, but you'll see the same just on any other job that needs care and attention. Good way to clean these out is actually just to run the file through, but I don't like doing that all the time. Again, just wasn't cutting with the file there, just pushing debris out. Basically just need to keep going. That's now shaping time because that's low point, that's almost there. So yeah, that's all there is to that really. And then you polish up the same way you polish up the frets, and before that shape it and bring it in around the sides and over the top. Where is it? There. And that's the nut shaped. I've let the strings be a bit deeper just so in case of bends and things like that. So pickup height is set to 2mm on each side when you hold the last fret down. I've got 2mm on the bass side for the action at the 12th fret and 1.75mm up here, so it's a really comfortable playing guitar. I only have the treble side it's 1/4 mm higher than a normal parrot just because it's a really tight radius, but got it through a wee Marshall here. It's quite cool, this switch. So that's off and on for each pickup. So that's the neck pickup that's on just now. So yeah, that's that. Full refret on one of these old Japanese Commodore things that came under many different brands as well in the 60s. Well, I think 60s, maybe 70s. Yeah, steel reinforced neck made in Japan. I think that's 60s for a Fujigen, if I'm not correct. So yeah. This will be going back to its owner fairly soon, hopefully, if I can get outside during the lockdown.